Not only does the UK want to stifle their own free speech, not only do they want to make it so their own citizens have to show ID online, which, yes, we're going to be fair, some places here in America are doing that now too. I dare you to go to a porn site and see what happens. Now, do I think kids should be on particular sites? No, obviously not. Do I think you should have to give your personal information to visit a site to look at a boobie? Well, no. Obviously not. That is definitely an invasion of privacy. But the UK is taking it a step farther. They're trying to pretend that it's A-OK for them to tell an American company what they can and cannot do. Well, I don't think Trump is going to stand for that, but I guess we'll just have to find out, won't we?
European nations are going to step up very substantially too.
What's your advice on the small...
The importance of free speech today?
Well, free speech is very important. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but we've had...
I love that. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but anyway. Hey, we're talking about you over here, right?
is very important. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but
we've had free speech for a very, very long time here, so we're very proud about that. What's your...
Yes, he sits there and says we've had free speech for a very long time here, but no, the UK has never had free speech. And I tried to look up if they ever had free speech. I can find nothing that says the UK has ever had in their constitution the ability to speak freely. And the myriad of examples of people getting arrested for saying the word gay online or not agreeing with the fact that a bunch of people from shithole countries have taken over their country and are trying to make their country into a third world country. People that do not come to or go to the UK on their little boats, apparently trying to flee horrible things and bringing those horrible things like rape gangs, things like that with them to the UK. So, teeter-totter, I guess. But if people complain about that stuff, well, they're put on a watch list. They're arrested. Hell, there was even a woman whose name I cannot remember, who, I believe it was her daughter or her, I'm not 100% sure now, it's kind of faded in the back of my head, was raped by a quote-unquote, we'll say, person not born in the UK. Alien, illegal. Asylum seeker. That just happened to be, I think it was Muslim. She makes a post about how horrible it is that he was allowed in the country. She gets arrested and put in jail, and he gets to go scot-free. That makes a hell of a fucking world of sense to me. Doesn't it to you? But anyway, like I said, there's a myriad of examples of why the UK does not have free speech. And there we go. White House, wrong graph. There we are. So the White House warned Starmer, what do I call him? Stormer. Whatever. Starmer, stop threatening U.S. tech companies' free speech. Well, what exactly are they doing? What exactly are they saying? Oh no, we can't have that, right? The White House has warned Sir Keir Starmer to stop threatening American tech companies amid mounting backlash over Britain's online safety law. And like I said, everybody's concentrating though on the Britain's safety law and the Britain free speech stuff and tech companies, blah, blah, blah. But, like I said at the beginning of the video, not a lot of people are concentrating on the fact that it's happening here in America as well. And if you ignore it, it's just going to get worse. But we're going to continue with this, and I think I'll probably do a separate video for that in particular. An actual scripted video, and not just me going off the cuff. Members of Donald Trump's administration are monitoring the Online Safety Act with great interest and concern after key allies said it was censoring free speech and imposing unfair burdens on U.S. businesses. Now, I think that if the UK wants to say, hey, U.S. company, you cannot operate within our borders because, well, we don't have free speech, then okay. I'm not going to say that's not within their right. But I don't think it's within their right or their governmental reach to say that a company has to capitulate to your crazy speech laws. I just do not, and I'm going to stick to that, I think. But we'll see. By the end of this, I might make a turn. I might change my mind, right? The law, which regulates online speech, allows the British government to levy massive fines on companies like Apple through social acts if it finds rules of hate speech have been broken. Okay, here's my question, though. These being American companies, right? In what world does the British government or any other government, including the U.S., to be honest with you, but mainly anything outside the U.S., in what world do they have a single solitary right to levy a fine on an American company? I mean, they can use the threatening thing, right? They can use the either you pay the fine or you don't do business here. Okay, sure, that's not a right to levy a fine. So what happens? Oh darn, I guess our company is no longer going to operate in your country and you guys can get fucked? Because I guarantee the UK needs these companies more than they need the UK. And as soon as the companies realize that, they'll pretty much just tell Starmer and his ilk to suck a dick. At least that's how I view it. Could be completely wrong. But I'm probably not, to be completely honest with you. Let's see here. President Trump has made it clear that free speech is one of our, good old-fashioned USA's, most cherished freedoms as Americans, a senior U.S. Department official told The Telegraph. Yes, because free speech is what allows people to complain about their government, to not be persecuted for their religion or their opinion or their voice. That's what free speech is for. Now, I think a lot of people get free speech confused with I can walk outside and say whatever I want to anybody I want to without consequences. Sorry, but the free speech in America does not cover that particular version. That's a Hollywood fantasy version of free speech. Free speech is meant to say that you won't be persecuted for talking against the government. That's what it's for. So how does it relate, though, to this particular version they're going with? Because I think what's the word I'm looking for? We've expanded what we think free speech is. To that, you should be able to say whatever you want, whenever you want. And I agree, you should be able to say, whatever you want, whenever you want. You just have to realize the consequence of certain things. If I walk up outside and walk up to another dude and say something, I'm not gonna say in particular examples. We'll say I go out and I say something not good about the man's wife. Well, he is then obligated to smack me in the fucking head. Right? The consequence of me saying what I did got me hit upside the head. And probably kicked on the ground a few times. Normal shit. Let's see. Accordingly, we have taken decisive action against foreign actors who have engaged in extraterritorial, censorship affecting our companies and fellow citizens. We will continue to monitor developments in the UK and with great interest and concern. Let's see, anything else here? Yep. As long as foreign legislators, judges, and regulators continue their attempt to silence U.S. citizens, we will not stop fighting back. So, like I said, I think what this is going to end up being is one of two things. Either the U.S. companies are going to realize that, we don't need them at all. We don't need the UK the UK. They need us more than we need them. And I think that's the truth. I firmly believe that the UK needs the American company more than any American company needs the UK. Because, if you're just going off the UK, it's not a very big fucking country. There's not very many people there. You can't be making so much there. And here, we go on top of this here. We'll add this in here. We'll go with, say, Apple, right? If Apple gets booted from the UK goes, because you won't do what we want, we're not going to have you here. How many people in the UK have iPhones? You know what? Let's find that out while we're here. Boom. We're gonna find that out. Give me just a second here. Oh, it's open still. Okay, cool. Google. Number of, I can't spell. Whatever. iPhones. In the UK. So, in the UK, there are approximately 19.7 million iPhone users, representing about 40%, nearly half of the market. So, you tell me, does the UK need Apple more than Apple needs the UK? Because if all of a sudden 40% of your population is pissed about a phone not being able to be used, what do you think is going to happen in the long run? In the long run, a lot of people are going to be really pissed. The UK government's actually maybe going to have to fucking do something for real this time and not stifle speech, but we all know that's not going to happen. They've been stifling the speech of their citizens for years, and fucking UK citizen does jack shit. They just marry on their merry fucking way. The moment that the people in the UK finally realize that if they actually stand together and do something, they won't be treated this way, is going to be an amazing moment, and I hope I get to see it within my lifetime. I really do. The idea that you are allowing your free speech to be stifled by the people who are coming up on TV and stifling your free speech.
European nations are going to step up very substantially too.
What's your advice on the small?
Importance of free speech today.
Well, free speech is very important. I don't know if you're referring to any place in particular. Perhaps they are, but
We've had free speech for a very, very long time here, so we're very proud about that.
And then lying their asses off to the world about the lack of free speech in the country, well, then that, my friends, is going to be a glorious day. A wonderful day to see. Non-violent, of course. Use your speech. Use your protest. Don't, go around and burn buildings down and shit like that, because that doesn't get anything done. That just makes people hate you. I mean, look at the movements that we've had in the U.S. for the last 10 years, where they go and tear down cities and burn cities and riot and steal from businesses and all that shit. But look at how people generally view those groups. In the U.S., when people think Black Lives Matter, most of them don't think, oh, wow, that's a really good group. No, they think, oh, they're the ones that burned down a bunch of cities, huh? So, don't go violent. Do it peacefully, as you should. Anyway, let's, go back to here. And we're going to end that there. And as our good old friend Ludwig would say, do me the giant favor and, let's up those numbers! Hit those like and subscribe buttons and all those fun things on YouTube. Follow, if you want to, on the Twitch or the Kick, preferably the Kick. Fuck Twitch, for the most part. And if you haven't, leave a comment below, because apparently you just watching these videos isn't good enough for the YouTube algorithm anymore, because it doesn't count fucking half of them. So leave a comment, hit the like button. Thank you for watching. I will see you later on. Bye-bye.